Fear on 4. The Man in Black introduces tonight's story, The Next in Line by Ray Bradbury. Dramatized by Brian Sibley.
Welcome. As you sit back this evening contemplating the new year stretching out before you, thoughts will undoubtedly turn to holidays. But have you noticed how terrible things often seem to happen when you're just starting to relax, when, as it were, you're off your guard and unprepared? For Marie and Joseph, it happened on a vacation in Mexico, only a short while ago.
Are we nearly there?
Stop fussing, Marie. We'll get there when we get there.
It's just that it's so hot. The desert seems to go on and on forever.
It is, and it does.
What's the name of the town again?
Guanajuato.
Just the sound of it makes me feel kind of unsafe. Why do we have to go to places I've never heard of?
Have to? What are you talking about? We go where we like. It's a vacation, for
But why
God's sake.
Guanajuato?
Pretty little town, lots of stuff to see.
Like what?
I don't know. The mummies?
Mummies.
Sure, real live mummies, like the pharaohs, Boris Karloff and Imhotep. Only this lot are Mexican. Las momias. It'll be fun.
It doesn't sound much like fun to me. Joe, there will be a pharmacist in town, won't there?
Sure. I guess so.
Only I don't want to run out of pills, I mean, if we're miles from anywhere and I run out of pills...
Marie,
then I can
forget your pills. You're on vacation.
What are you doing, Joe?
A photograph.
What?
A photograph of the town square.
What are our plans for today?
See the mummy.
Why would anyone want to see him? Why does he want to see him? Dead things like that. No one ought to be allowed to see them.
Hey!
What's the matter?
Come quick, Marie, look here.
I'm drying myself.
Hurry, hurry.
All right. Coming.
Here.
Don't look. I'm stark naked. Stay right there.
Okay.
What am I supposed to be looking at?
Down there, the procession.
So many people.
50 at least. Men first.
Eating something.
Sugarcane, raw sugarcane.
Gnawing at it.
Look how they rip the bark off of their teeth.
Yes, and the succulent pulp and the juicy sinews, and all the time laughing.
The women follow.
Black, all in black.
Ancient grandmothers and pretty young, dark-eyed girls.
Chewing oranges, spitting peel on the cobbles. What's it for?
Don't you see the man in front?
He's got a package on his head, balanced there, light as a chicken plume, only supported by one hand.
All that silver satin, silver fringes, silver rosettes. You really don't know what it is, do you?
What is it?
A funeral, of course.
The package?
A coffin.
Too small.
A child.
No. What child?
I don't know, some little girl or boy gone to a happier place.
Where are they taking her? Why did I say her? That tiny fragment like an unripe fruit.
Up the hill.
Carried up the hill within the compressing darkness.
To the graveyard.
A stone in a peach. Silent, terrified. Outside, the father's touch against the coffin unfelt. Inside, gentle and noiseless and firm. I've seen enough. I've got to lie down.
She's probably been dead only a few hours.
A few hours. A few hours ago she was alive, and now...
Did you say something?
He looks at me as if at an old sculpture in a museum.
Oh, did you?
All criticism, all quiet and easy and uncaring. I don't feel well. Once the clay has become impregnated with water, it is impossible to shape it again. You need to warm it with your hands, evaporate the moisture, but the warmth's all gone. Let's not stay here another night, Joe.
Why ever not?
Damn, I let him think it matters. I mustn't let him think that.
Why ever not?
Why? Well, because we could go on to Pátzcuaro. Make it in no time. You won't have to pack. I'll do it all myself, darling. Slower. We can get a room at the Don Posado there. They say it's a beautiful little town.
This is a beautiful little
Bougainvillea
town.
climbs all over the buildings.
Those flowers just outside the
and
window
we
are
fish.
bougainvillea.
You like fishing, and I like fishing too. Well, I'd learn. I would. I've always wanted to learn. And then from there we could go to Paracutin. That's near Uruapan, and they have some of the finest lacquered boxes there. Oh, Joe, it'll be fun. And I'll pack. You just take it easy and let me. Yes.
We've traveled 300 miles. We've been here one day. Now, you want to rush off somewhere else. I've already paid the rent for another
Please,
night.
you can get it back.
Why do you want to run away? Don't you like the town?
It's not that I don't like it.
Well, what is it
I
then?
don't know.
Listen, another day.
Oh, no.
You'll love it. That's settled. Yes?
Nothing.
Excuse me a minute. Marie? The mummies don't worry you, do they?
Mm-mm.
Was it the funeral then? Because if you really were afraid, I'd pack in a moment. You know that, don't you, darling?
No. I'm not afraid.
Good girl. Come on.
So hot. So steep. I feel washed by the sunlight like a river.
We're nearly there.
Breathless, tideless.
Here we are.
What a mess.
The fiesta. Why were we here? El Dia de Muertos. Day of the Dead. Should have been here. They always do this. Deck the tombs and graves with colored ribbons, tissue paper, sparkle
Tattered
tape.
and torn, clinging to the stones like crazy
This
hair.
place would have been a blaze of lights. Hundreds of candles burning through the darkest night of the year.
Nothing left but splashes of candle wax on the stones.
You see all those cheap peso portraits of the dead? Silver charms and trinkets? The flowers?
Circles of gardenias, sprigs of bougainvillea strewn everywhere. Dead and desiccated.
God, I wish we'd been here.
Buenos días, señora y señor.
Por favor, yo quiero ver las momias, ¿sí?
Sí, señor, in the catacombs.
Mi español es mucho estúpido, es muy malo.
No, señor. You speak well. To see the mummies, 1 peso. This way, please, señora y señor.
Okay, Marie?
Sure. Me first.
Sí. Por favor, the stairs are narrow at the bottom.
They sure are. Hardly wide enough for a child's feet.
Careful. There.
Those doors at the end, is that where...
Yes. Those are the mummies.
And those. What are those things over there in the dark? White rods and round white stones.
Oh, those are the soldiers who fought for Father Morelos.
You mean they're bones?
Si, señor.
Bone on bone, stacked like firewood.
And skulls.
Jeez, how about that? There must be hundreds of them.
Thousands. 100,000 dry skulls. I don't mind skulls and bones. Everything human has been scraped off them.
You okay, Marie? Not getting the heebie-jeebies?
No. To be horrible, something's got to have changed. These haven't changed. They're still skeletons like they always were. The part that changed is gone. Isn't that interesting?
I guess so.
There. I feel quite brave now. So let's see the mummies.
Si, the mummies. Si, señora.
They're in there. Waiting. Inside, beyond the door. Waiting.
Si.
Oh. All in line. Waiting. How many?
115.
Waiting in line. Like preliminary work of a sculptor. Wire frame, first tendons of clay, thin lacquer of skin, all unfinished.
They're still intact. Their bodies are complete.
Si, señor.
Parchment skin stretched as if to dry from bone to bone.
Just the water gone, evaporated.
Si, the climate, it preserves them. Very dry.
How long have they been here?
Oh, some 1 year, some 5, señor, some 10, some 7.
What are they doing here?
Their relatives did not pay the rent.
On their graves.
Si, señor. 20 pesos a year. Or, if they decide the permanent determine, 170 pesos. But our people, they are very poor. So they carry their dead here and place them in the earth for 1 year. And the 20 pesos are paid with fine intentions of paying each year and each year. But each year and each year after the first, they have a burro to buy or a new mouth to feed. Now the dead, after all, they are not hungry. And the dead, after all, they can pull no plows.
17, 18,
Then what happened?
19, 20,
Are you listening, Marie?
21. What?
Are you listening?
I think so. Yes, I'm listening.
Well, then I call un trabajador, and with his delicate shovel at the end of the first year, he does dig and dig and dig down. How deep do you think we have to dig, senor, to find the ataúd, the coffin?
6 feet?
No. How deep we bury them depends on what are the chances we won't have to dig them up after 1 year.
53,
And the bodies which are dug up are placed here against the wall with the other compañeros.
58, 59, 60, 61, 62,
Say,
63.
Look at this one.
64.
Open wide.
65,
Say ah.
67,
Very
68,
funny, senor.
69,
Hi
70,
there, Mr. Grimace.
71,
Mr. Gape.
73.
This woman here, she is an interesting one.
Arms flung to her head, hair wildly flourished, mouth wide, wide open.
Why this one? What's different about her?
Or sometimes this happens. This woman, she is a cataleptic. One day she falls down upon the earth, but is not really dead. For deep in her, the little drum of her heart beats and beats, so dim we cannot hear.
She was buried?
In a fine, inexpensive box. But 1 year later, her family, they have other things to buy. They refuse the rent. So we dig very quietly down and loosened the box and took it up and opened the top and laid it aside and looked in upon her.
She was...
Buried alive.
Oh.
Hey, that's real gruesome stuff. Real Edgar Allan Poe.
She wakened under the earth, senor. Be pleased to observe the difference between her hands and these other ones.
Huh?
Their peaceful fingers at their hips, quiet as little roses.
Gee.
Hers are jumped up very wildly.
Couldn't rigor mortis do that?
No, believe me, senor. Rigor mortis pounds upon no lids. Rigor mortis screams not like this, nor twists, nor wrestles to rip free nails, senor, or prize boards loose hunting for air, senor. All these others have opened the mouth because they are not injected with the fluids of embalming. But theirs is a simple screaming of muscles, senor. This senorita here, hers is una muerte horrible.
Sure is.
Tearing, shrieking, clubbing at the box lid with fists, dying of suffocation in this attitude, hands flung over her gaping face, horror-eyed, hair wild.
Gee, but I'd like a color shot of every one of these damn freaks. You could put them in a book. Yeah. Wouldn't that be an amazing, an ironical book to publish? A picture of each standing there and their life histories.
You see, they have their names hung around the neck, senor.
Great. So you could show the pictures and say who was who.
Moreno.
Morelos. Gomez.
Gutierrez. Siriano.
Down, tongues out, like jeering children.
Ramona.
Eyes pale and lost in up-clenched sockets. Flesh like drumheads, manuscripts, crisp bread dough, insane hair like nests made and unmade and remade.
Name, place, date, and how they died. I fell from a horse.
I coughed up blood.
I died on my wife's belly.
I died alone.
I died in childbirth.
I caused her death.
Stupefied nostrils, paralyzed, loveless, fleshless loins. Don't look. Turn away. Nowhere to turn to. Horror on horror, skull to skull, rib to rib.
I beat my wife, and now she walks proudly in the town and is married with new men.
I had 3 lovers.
There was me.
And me. And the thought cannot be far behind.
I never loved and was never loved.
And look at them all standing there.
Screaming,
What?
screaming, as if they'd snapped upright in their graves, clutched their hands over their shriveled bones, and screamed, jaws wide, tongues out, nostrils flared. Can't you hear them?
Can't say I do. But then maybe their screams are too high for normal hearing. Maybe a dog could hear them.
But I hear them, Joseph. I hear them.
Nonsense.
I must get out. I need air, a drink, my pills. I must get out.
Okay. It was your idea to come.
This way, please, senora.
Thank you.
You have room down here for more?
Si, senor. Many more.
Wouldn't want to be next, eh, Marie?
What? Next?
Wouldn't want to be next in line. Next on the waiting list.
What's that? What you got there?
Candy skulls. Souvenirs of the death fiesta.
Oh.
They make all kinds of things. Saccharine corpses, sweet sugar skeletons. Wonderful. Everyone eats them.
That's dreadful.
Want to see one?
No, not here, not after just now.
In the catacombs? But these are good. Look. Alas, poor Yorick.
Joe, please.
It's only sugar.
It looks raw, sort of poisonous.
Just because they're skull-shaped? Huh?
Something's
Not bad.
Something's written on the skull in golden curlicues on the brow. What's it say? What's written on it?
Just a name. They all have names on them. Jose or Carmen.
What
Ramon.
name's on that one?
This one. Well, how about that? Marie.
My name.
Coincidence.
There. All packed. Oh, Joe, I am so glad you let me change your mind.
Yeah.
I'll start taking these down. Are you coming then, Joe? Joe, what are you doing now?
Just making sure we've not forgotten anything.
But I haven't. Please, Joe, I've forgotten nothing.
All right, fine. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, it's damn late in the day to be moving out.
It's 3:30, only 3:30.
Sure.
Joe. Joe.
Okay.
Well, here we go. Thank you, darling. I'm sure we'll like it much better in Guadalajara. Thank you.
Yeah.
It just needs warming. It was a cold night last night.
Well,
try again. Next time it'll work.
it's no use, Marie. Something's wrong.
Well, you've got to try it once more. It'll work, I'm sure.
There, I told you.
You didn't need to, Joe. I should have known. Well?
They can fix it.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. How long?
At least 2 days.
2 days. Joe, 2 days.
Maybe 3.
But that's ridiculous. In 3 days, anything could happen.
What do you mean?
What I mean is, that why can't they fix it so we can just go on to the next town and have the rest done there?
He's got to do the entire job.
But that's silly. That is so silly. They don't really have to do it all. Well, why didn't you tell them that, Joe? Why didn't you think? Joe, where are you going? Joe!
Try and get the room back.
Oh, no. Who's that? Who's there?
Me, of course. What do you think it is? For God's sake, Marie, will you let me in?
I'm coming.
Thanks.
Well?
As I told you, it's going to take time. What the hell are you doing standing there naked like that?
Why is it going to take them so long? Why do they need so much time? Why didn't you hurry them up, Joe? Why didn't you tell them to get a move on?
I told them, but they can't do the job till they get the parts. It all depends how quickly the parts come through.
Some parts wear out and can't be replaced.
What? Why the devil do you keep staring at yourself in the mirror?
Replace your limbs in a certain way and you don't have any choice.
For God's sakes, what are you doing? What are you putting your hands up that way for over your face?
And then your mouth gapes open and you start to scream.
I'm going out for a beer. You hear me?
Are they pretty, Joe?
Who?
The girls at the cantina, very young and very pretty.
I don't know. I never noticed.
You always notice, Joe.
Look, why don't you get some rest?
Don't knock when you come back, Joe.
Leave it unlocked then.
I want it locked, but don't rap. Cole.
What's wrong with rapping?
I don't know. It just sounds funny.
Huh. Funny.
When you're inside. I wish I could have bought some new magazines. Thing is, I've looked at these. I haven't read them, but I've looked at them, and once you've looked at a thing, I don't know, it's not new anymore. It's like it's used, secondhand, spoiled. That's why I must read them now. Every article and story, page by page, line by line, pictures, captions, advertisements, cartoons, as if As if I were turning the pages for the first time. That's important. Only turn over one page at a time. But I've seen that picture. All these people. Smiling, confident people. People who are well and nowhere near ready to die. People in places miles from here. People who are free to come and go. People who know how to get back from wherever they are. What's that? Hairs on my neck. Standing upright. I'm cold, Joseph. Like I got ice in the blood.
You're all right.
No, I'm not. What if it freezes up? I'm not well. What if it won't circulate? I'm afraid.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
I want to get on the train for the States now.
There's a train in Lyon, but none here.
Let's drive there.
Are these taxis? With these drivers?
Yes, I want to go. I must go.
It cost hundreds of dollars to have the car shipped home.
I don't care. I got plenty of dollars in the bank. I'll pay for it, but please, let's go home.
When the sun shines tomorrow, you'll feel better. It's just the sun's gone now.
Yes, the sun's gone. The wind's blowing. Listen. What a lonely wind. Mexico's such a lonely country. Don't these people ever get afraid?
They have a religion for that.
I used to have a religion.
Baptist?
No, that was when I was 12. I got over that. I mean, later.
You never told me.
Didn't I? I guess I hoped you'd know.
What religion? Plaster saints in the sacristy? Any special saint you used to pray to?
Yes.
And did he answer your prayers?
For a little while. Lately, no, never. Never anymore. Not for years now. But I keep praying.
Which saint is this?
Saint Joseph.
My name.
Coincidence. Joseph.
Yeah?
Come hold my hand, will you?
Women.
Will you?
Okay. There. Okay?
It doesn't matter. It's never as nice as I can imagine it. It's really nice the way I can make you hold my hand in my mind.
Hell's teeth.
It's still there. That whining tremor inside, as if every bone in my body had a blue bottle fly imprisoned inside it, buzzing, shaking, quivering, deep, deep, deep. Joseph!
Yes?
Come here.
What do you want?
I want you to promise me something, please. Oh, please.
What is it? What is it?
Promise me.
Promise you what?
Promise me. Oh, it's still doing it. My heart's still banging and thumping, pounding itself to bits inside my chest. If anything happens to me, you won't let me be buried here in the graveyard over those terrible catacombs.
Don't be foolish.
Promise me.
All the crazy things you talk
Promise, please.
You'll
Promise.
be all right in the morning.
Promise so I can sleep. I can sleep if only you say you wouldn't let me be put there. I don't want to be put there.
Honestly.
Why won't you promise, Joe?
Why
Please.
should I promise? Anything ridiculous. You'll be fine tomorrow.
Will I? Will I?
Besides, if you died, you'd look very pretty in the catacomb. Standing between Mr. Grimace and Mr. Gape, with a spring of morning glory in your hair. Don't you think you'd look pretty? Don't you?
I'm breathing too fast. Much too fast. Air going in. Now going out. In. Out. In. Out. Too fast. Next time the air goes out, it won't come in again.
Hey? Sure. Pretty as hell. You'll be all right in the morning. Car will be fixed tomorrow. Maybe. At the very latest the next day. You won't mind another night here, will you? Will you? Marie? Asleep. Well, good night, lady.
This room, oblong and black. It's so like something else. Something else. Black and oblong. No, 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 no.
This way, senor, senorita.
Gee, this place is spooky. You've been here before, honey. It seemed like the guide knew you or something.
Si, senorita. The senor and I are old friends.
I don't know what you're being so mysterious about. Still, I wouldn't have missed this place for the world. It's sure better than any freak show I ever saw. Ooh, real geeks, every one of them. Will you look at them? Say, how old are they?
Oh, some of them are many years old, senorita. Others are more recent. Ah, now this one, for example, has only been here 1 year. A tourist who liked our little town so much she never left.
Never left. Geez, but that's creepy. What happened?
She died and was buried, but her husband never came back to pay the rent on the burial plot.
That's terrible.
So, the senora is still on vacation.
She looks dreadful. All sagging and wasted. Oh, hell, I don't end up looking like that. To think that a year ago she was alive and breathing and everything. That's spooky. God, it's cold down here.
I'm cold. So cold and lonely. Please don't leave me again. Please, Joe.
You're not going to take a photograph of her? Oh, God, you know what, Joey? That's really gross.
Look, she's the only one I don't have a picture of, okay? Anyway, what's it to you? Just so long as you're not the next in line, huh? And you're far too smart a girl to end up here, aren't you? Huh?
Please, let this be a warning to you. If you happen to be contemplating that little vacation with a loved one, then maybe you should avoid remote villages in Mexico, because remember that in the catacombs there's always room for more. You could so easily find yourself the next in line. Joseph was Peter Marinka, Marie, Carol Boyd, the guide, Trader Faulkner, Popsy, Sandra Dickinson. The corpses, Anne Windsor, Jonathan Taffler, Cyril Jenkins, and David Holt. The next in line was dramatized by Brian Sibley from the short story by Ray Bradbury. The director was Martin Jenkins. I am Edward de Souza, the Man in Black. My story next week, Dark Feathers, tells of the single-minded dedication of a composer and her battle to overcome the dark forces that seek to destroy her. Oh, and by the way, a very happy New Year.